Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. Today I wanted to clear up some misconceptions about homeschooling because I think that a lot of people who are either unfamiliar with it or who are new to it may believe that homeschooling has to look just like school at home. But today I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to support self-directed learning because you know what? Every day is a school day. As I see the homeschool population skyrocketing, and as I see a lot of new subscribers to my channel who may not homeschool, I really wanted to use this opportunity to just let everyone know exactly what homeschooling looks like for us. Yes, we do have some time of structured learning, but it's not the 6-hour-a-day deal that most people think of. We will typically spend a couple of hours a day on structured learning. We spend so much time on self-directed learning. If you're not sure what self-directed learning is, it's just allowing your child to explore their own interests. And as we are now beginning our first week of our 6-week homeschool break, that's all we take is a 6-week break. I don't look at this. I know that a lot of times both parents who have kids in traditional school and parents who have kids who are homeschooling, a lot of them are afraid of learning loss during this extended period where the kids are not doing school. First of all, I have to point out that I truly believe that there is a huge difference between schooling and education. They're not the same thing. But I do say that every day is a school day just because most people equate school with education. So when I say that phrase, that's what I'm referring to. But here's what I want to tell you. You don't have to worry about learning loss during that time. If you are intentional about doing things, your kids can learn likely a lot more than what they're even learning during their structured school time because kids learn best when they are following their own interests. So that might look like one of your kids going outside and digging up bugs all the time and seeing what kinds of bugs they are. That might be another child who is painting all the time and learning how to mix different types of paint. That might be yet another child who spends a lot of time outside just riding their bike or looking for snakes or finding any number of things to do. But it doesn't matter if your child has one interest that they are really, really into or if they have a multitude of interests. You've got to remember that your children will retain more knowledge when they learn things that they want to, when they learn things because they have a reason to learn it, even if that reason is just because they really, really want to know more about it. So how can you as a parent help to support your child in doing self-directed learning? There are a lot of ways that you can. I'm only going to share 3 with you because I think that these really are the cusp of supporting your child while they're following their interests. And it's something that you as a parent, I think, can be really involved in as well, even if you are kind of more hands-off during this period. So the first thing is fill your house with interesting things. I know that there are a lot of parents who don't like glitter, and there are a lot of parents who don't like just any sort of mess. Now, my kids, I have 11 kids, so I'm used to messes. So my kids, yes, I always do have lots of stuff in the art cabinet. I do have stuff in the kitchen. You know, my kids just made Play-Doh today, and then they had to sweep up the floor because they had flour all over it. They were also painting out on the front porch today, and they were mixing paint while they were out there. But then again, they had to clean up after themselves. But really, it doesn't matter what sorts of interesting things you have in your house. The things in your house might look totally different from the things in my house. But what you want to do is you want to gauge what your child wants to do. Ask them for ideas. And if they don't even have any ideas, because unfortunately in this day and age that happens a lot, and I have to say that you might also want to make sure that your child can self-regulate screen time. And if they can't, you might want to put a few limits on because, yeah, that really can hamper them from wanting to get out and do other things. But the main idea is just for you to fill your house with lots of stuff. And if you come across things that you think your child might like, pick them up. And it doesn't even have to be expensive stuff. Go to the library. A lot of libraries will even let you borrow games and toys. Or if you see some books at the library that you think that your kids might be interested in, just bring them home, kind of set them around, let your kids know that they're there. But again, just This is actually called strewing. Strewing is a term, I think that it was coined by Sandra Dodd, and she is well known in the unschooling community, and that's what strewing is in essence. It's filling your house with interesting things, and that is going to keep your kids busy. Now, does that mean that they're always going to be constantly doing things all the time? No. Do you as a parent, are you constantly doing things all the time, or do you have downtime? It's okay for your kids to have downtime, but you can be sure that if you have things that are going to keep them engaged, you're not going to hear so many, "Mom, I'm bored." So the next thing that you can do for your kids is to say yes more. And this is something that I need to work on a lot. I try to say yes more to my kids, but I know that it can be tough. Now, there are some parents out there who will tell you that they almost always tell their children yes. And if you are equipped to do that, then by all means, take advantage of that. But for me, I have to find a steady balance of saying yes more. So for example, a lot of you know that my family just got over having the Rona, so I don't really have as much energy as I normally would, but my kids keep asking me every day. It's like 90 degrees outside. They want to go to the swimming hole, or they call it the rope swing. And it's quite a walk. And walking there in 90-degree weathers, and then in 90-degree weather, and then walking back again up a really steep hill to get home. Yeah, I'm not too keen on doing that. So there are going to be times that you as a parent might have to say no just for your own good or for your own sanity. But I do want you to consider trying to say yes more, because a lot of times as parents, we might, I don't know if we pick it up from our own parents or if it's something that's just innate in a lot of us, but our kids might ask us to do things and we automatically come out with no, 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 just because it's easier, just because it's not an inconvenience if we don't have to do things that we hadn't planned. But when you say yes to your children more, that allows them the opportunity to do the things that they're interested in that they are interested in, and that helps them to educate themselves, which is what this whole thing is about. And so the last thing is really be an example for your child. You often hear I can't speak today. You often hear people talking about when a child sees their parent reading, that's a great example for their child. And it's true. If you see a parent always on their phone, their kids are always going to want to be on their phone. But a lot of times, if you see a parent who is sitting down and reading, their kids are more likely to want to read too. And it goes beyond that. It's not just with reading. Be an example in someone who is enthusiastic about life. Explore the world around you. Just the other day, I did have my kids at the rope swing, because no, I don't say no all the time. I do take them there sometimes, just not every day like they would like to. But while they were there, I decided that I was going to just walk along the shoreline, and I was going to start looking for interesting rocks, because I've been watching Hangman 1128 a lot, and so that really has me into rocks right now. And as my kids saw me collecting all of these rocks and taking pictures of them and washing them off and showing them to my different kids, they got excited about it. And before I knew it, I had a few other kids who came in from the water and they started collecting their own rocks. And I actually had a couple daughters who lugged pretty many rocks home with them. My 16-year-old, she carried like 5 big rocks home with her because she found interesting rocks to put in her gecko cage. So yeah, so something that you are doing might help your child to develop an interest, and it might branch off into something that is not the same as the reason that you are doing it. But when your kids see you being excited about something, that is going to help them to be excited too. It's not always going to be about something that you, the parent, are interested in, but it is going to show them that the parents find life to be an exciting thing that is worthy of exploring, and your kids are more likely to do that themselves if they have that example. So really, I just want you to take these things to heart, that when your kids are just out and about and not doing their structured learning, whether they are in a traditional school or whether they are being in homeschooled, rest assured that, again, if you are intentional, your kids can have school every day. That's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one either here or on Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.